Coach Azevedo, great technique today.
Thank you.
I was watching you. You still are quick like a cat.
I try to keep my skills sharp.
Well, I asked you. I was like, hey, man, does it seem like a long time ago when you beat Henry Cejudo in the U.S. Open final? And you gave me an interesting answer.
Yeah.
You said, yeah, no. But why does it feel like it wasn't that long ago, I guess?
So it doesn't feel like it was that long ago that I was still competing. But then when I look back and see how much time has passed and where my life has gone, it's like, wow, it has been a while, because it seems like I was just doing it. It doesn't seem that long ago. Yeah.
And what's interesting about that is, like, they did the Olympic trials different. You didn't get to sit.
No.
You had to, because we didn't have a defending medalist, and the rules were just different. So, like, the defending gold medalists like Snyder and Burroughs got to sit this year. Right.
Well, it was even during that quadrennium there, those like 4 years, they changed the qualifying process. You had to have other qualifications in order to sit out. Where then, like, I think in 2009 they went back to the old system. Whereas if you win the nationals, you sit out. Because even for the world team trials, you didn't get to sit out unless you had met some criteria. So and then because I think even in 2012 they went back to if you win the nationals, you sit out. Yeah. Where then this year they didn't. They changed it again, where you had to actually be. Well, no, actually, the winner got to sit out this year. Just you had to win the nationals. Yeah. Or if you're a world medalist, you had an automatic bid right to the finals.
Yes, you didn't even have to go to the nationals.
Right.
Like
so so basically, after I was done, they put the system back to the way it was.
You don't seem bitter about it, though.
It is what it is. Like, yeah, it stinks. Like, you look back and you think, God, if they hadn't changed the rules, I would have been a bye to the finals, and who knows what would have happened. Maybe I'd have been an Olympian.
And you lose to Abbas in the semis, and then Abbas loses to Cejudo in the 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and Cejudo goes and wins a gold medal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're gonna smash my camera now.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to look back on that and realize how close I was, and you put all that time and effort in, and you fall short, and it's hard, and it's hard to look at other guys do it that maybe you feel like you could beat them, or you had beaten them, and they changed the rules, to this, or even during my 4 years, they changed the rules to the periods, to the periods. I'd been wrestling one way my entire life, and all of a sudden, when it's my turn to try to make the Olympic team, they changed the rules, and I think it was changed for about 8 years or so, but now it's back to a cumulative score, which is definitely more.
Not a ball draw, not a win period.
Right.
I could get smashed, teched out this period.
Right.
Or I could not score, and you get to reach in a bag and pull a color ball out, and you get to grab my leg. Okay.
Yeah. But
that's just silly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like you said, I'm not bitter. It stinks. It stings. It still hurts. But those were the rules, and I accepted that. So.
To piggyback on that, you had a coaching journey. You talked about the journey in between 2008, and then being a competitive wrestler then too, and you got into all these like really good coaching opportunities.
Yeah.
You were at Cornell.
Right.
And you look at Cornell. Was it Cornell?
I was at Cal Poly before, and then Cornell for 2 years before I went to Drexel.
Okay, so that's pretty good experience.
Oh yeah.
West Coast, East Coast.
Yeah.
And now you're head coach, and you got a program with a very interesting dynamic to it. The campus is directly next to Penn.
Yep.
I think you guys are doing some joint things there.
We are. Yep.
You guys are like making each other better, which is awesome.
Yep.
You almost like kind of share an RTC is what my understanding is.
Exactly.
And that's awesome because Danny Mitchell's one of my good friends.
Yeah.
And he just left the RTC, but I hear you out there talking to coaches and maybe potentially more joint training sessions. I mean, it's just I love hearing the opportunities and what people are trying to do to win. You got a good team.
We do. We have a good team coming back. Yeah.
You got a guy coming back from round of 12 who's a top 4 seeded guy.
2 guys actually from round of 12.
You're getting respect on the seating committee. You're right there to kick the door down. What do you guys got to do to get over the hump as far as Drexel and in the interesting situation you have right next to Penn and a really good school?
Yeah.
I don't know if people really get that. You're a great school.
We are. We are very unique in the fact that our kids not only go to school, but they also work full-time jobs half of the year. So like right now, when the wrestling season ended, starting the first week of April, most of our kids start a job, a 6-month job that runs to September, and then we're back in school during the wrestling season, and in the off season, our kids are working. So they're getting real life work experience within their field of study. Engineers have engineering jobs. Business majors are doing all kinds of stuff, and they gain experience that is just invaluable. Like you can't put a price tag on that. So I always say, not only do they graduate with a diploma, but they graduate with a resume, and those skills needed to get the jobs that they're going to be competing for. So. Yeah, that puts a wrench in things. So right now we work out in the evenings. We have to work out at about 5. We go 5:30 in the evening. So our kids work all day, and then they have to get off work and train. And it's difficult. It's difficult. It's challenging. They're dragging sometimes, but they know the value of it. So it's a great school. It's a great school. Our kids are getting great jobs, making good salaries. We're one of the schools in the country that has one of the highest starting salaries for graduating undergraduates. So we're in the EIWA. I feel like we're making a little noise there. We've had an EIWA champ the last 2 years, a guy in the finals the last 3 years. We finished 4th in dual meets within the EIWA. We had 7 guys place at the tournament, sent 3 to nationals. We have 5 NCAA qualifiers returning next year to our starting lineup, plus a transfer, Garrett Hammond from Penn State. We're excited. We had a winning record in duels last year. We won our last 6 matches. Our team is finally kind of coming together as a team, and that's what's exciting for me. I don't feel like we're a bunch of individuals, or we have a couple good guys, and the rest are kind of trying to. We really have 10 weight classes that are really, really solid. So we're excited. We're really excited about next year.
You need a driven person on your team, because if they come in and they don't want to work, some college kids just want to be lazy college kids. Right. That.
Right.
That's just how it is.
Right.
I got a feeling that this is just and talking to you, you're preparing them for the real world.
Oh yeah.
Like they're doing a job and then coming to wrestle.
Right.
And like you said, they're dragging sometimes. They're tired, but that's life. Real life is like that.
Right. That's what I tell them. I go, hey guys, what do you think I do all day? Or what do you think the coaches do? We're in the office, we're working, we're calling people, we're coming up with plans for this and that, and then we have to go to practice. It's not easy for us either, But some of those kids have some pretty intense jobs. So they do a great job. I'm really proud of our guys. And they, like you said, our kids are driven. They come to our school because they're career driven. They see the value of our co-op, of the job experience they're going to get. They see the value of the education, and they know when they're graduating, they're going to be set up for success. And so our kids are driven. We do well in the classroom too. I think we finished 13th in the country in GPA or something. So our kids are, I think, special kids, because they're excelling in a lot of different areas. So
I think the kids at Army, Navy, Air Force, the Ivies, your conference basically, I think that it takes a special kid. You just can't be a Joe Bag of Donuts with a 2.5 GPA and a 21 on the ACT and literally get into any of those schools.
Right.
It's just not a thing. You can't be an average student and get into those schools.
Right.
You can be a great wrestler, 4-time state champ, win Fargo X amount of times. You're not getting into those schools. It's just not how it works. How do you gauge that out here? You're looking at these guys out here. You see someone who's a junkyard dog, and you're like, man, I like that guy. You just like how they compete, or you like what they're doing, or maybe they got taken down twice, and then they just come back and pound this guy into fodder, right? Because that's what you're looking for ultimately. You got one guy who win a national title who can just scrap. Go up and you start talking to him, and hey, I got 2.5 coach and a 20 on the ACT, or 1,200 on the SAT. It's just, you can't touch them with a 10-foot pole. What are you looking for, and how do you deal with guys like that when you have an interaction with them? You like them, but what do you say to a student athlete, and what are you looking for in a student athlete?
Yeah, that's tough. That's always a big disappointment. When you see a kid you just love everything he stands for wrestling wise, and then you hear the GPA and you're just like, And we've learned the hard way a little bit too. We've taken some chances on some kids, and the academics are just they're rigorous, and if they're not coming at a certain level, we just really we have to stay away from them, because they won't be successful, and therefore we're not the right university for them. So obviously the academics are very important. Usually we see the wrestling first, and then we start investigating where the academics are. But I feel like there are a lot of bright kids that are getting good grades and have great test scores in wrestling. I think it even seems more so than ever before. There's a lot of kids I think are realizing that and are understanding that I need to be at a certain level so that I can have choices. But we're looking for that kid that's motivated. We're looking for that kid that wrestles year round, is competing year round. Wrestling the postseason tournaments, the preseason tournaments, Fargo, and obviously during the high school season, a kid that loves wrestling, but then also has motivation to be successful in their career. Because I think that's, like, even teachers, like we have an education program, but it's not really one of our strongest things, just because it's not really what you come to Drexel for. Like, you come to Drexel to get that co-op experience, and so the kids that are attracted to our school are more business-minded kids, entrepreneurial kids, engineering kids, or the medical fields. Like, we're really strong in the medical fields as well. And we do have one kid that is an education major, but Drexel is also very expensive. So to get a degree in education there and pay that amount is, I don't know if it makes complete sense. So the kids that we're looking for are a little, it is a little bit more of a niche type kid, but I think everybody wants to be successful when they graduate, and everybody wants to, be a good wrestler, and so, we can find a lot of kids that fit that mold.
They're going to start scrapping out there. Is there anything else you got for me on the Drexel program, or something you want kids to know in the country about your program?
I just want people to know that we're serious about being a top program. We are, in my mind, doing all the things that we need to do to get there. I mean, myself and my coaching staff, as athletes and as coaches, we competed at the highest level. We had success at the highest level, and I've coached and wrestled on teams that have been runner-up at the NCAA championships, and I've been around that, and I feel confident that we're doing the things that are getting us to become a top 10 program. So we're serious about winning, and if you're serious about winning, we're interested. I think that's the thing. We may be a small up-and-coming program, but we've got great facilities, great support, and got a lot to brag about. So
that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Thanks for the time. Enjoy the scrapping.
All right, thanks.